Well, it's great to see Topper sports season kicking off again. I'm Troy Hughes. I'm the fire chief here in Los Alamos. And we're glad to see COVID kind of waning and people getting back to their normal activities. One of the things that hurt us during this time period was our lack of people. So we need recruits. We need cadets to come to work for Los Alamos Fire Department. It's a great career, very rewarding, good pay, good benefits, great retirement. You get to work out and maintain your Topper strength. So we're hoping that a few good people will come to work for us in the next year, and we hope that the Toppers win, so go Toppers.
Hello, I'm Deputy Chief Oliver Morris of the Los Alamos Police Department, and I just want to take a few moments of your time to talk about some safety initiatives that we want to bring forth to the community as the 2022-2023 school year starts in Los Alamos. School is right around the corner, and we want to remind parents and students to make sure that you leave enough time to get to school on time so we're not rushing. As you can see behind me, all school zones are 15 miles an hour when students are going to school, even if they're not present. So let's slow down and just make sure our students are safe. Secondly, I want to remind us that when the buses are stopped and their stop signs and lights are activated, we want traffic to stop in both directions to allow time for students to cross the street to keep them safe. The other thing I want to talk about is our school campuses. It's important to remember that during school, campuses are closed to the general public, as well as the playgrounds and facilities, while school is in session. This also includes Sullivan Field and the Sullivan Field parking lot. We want to make sure that school is meant for just school hours and school staff. Please check in with the staff regularly if you're going to be planning on visiting our campuses. We have a long history at Los Alamos to have amazing school resource officers. These officers are there to provide an atmosphere of safety and security for our students and faculty, but they're also there to foster positive relationships with students. So we use our school resource officers just to ensure that everything is safe in our schools. The other thing I'd like to direct our community to is on the losalamos.schools.net website. If you click on the Safety and Wellness section, you will see that there's the See Something, Say Something app. This app is a great tool to report anything that has to do with safety, whether it's bullying or whether it's a suspicious person on campus or anything you think is safety related for our schools. Please use this app to report any suspicious behavior so that we can work in concert with the Los Alamos Public Schools to make sure everyone is safe. And that's the final message that I have for you today. And I just want to make sure that we have a safe and fun school year, and go Toppers.
Hi there, my name is Kristen O'Hara, and I'm the Director of Interpretation at Pajarito Environmental Education Center. We are the nonprofit that runs the Los Alamos Nature Center. Bears are active in Los Alamos during spring, summer, and fall. New Mexico Game and Fish recommend the following 6 bear-wise basics to keep you and our bears safe. Do not feed or approach bears. Whether it's unintentional or intentional, feeding black bear in our community is incentivizing them to come into our residential neighborhoods for food. And we do not want to do that. They are wild animals. They're equipped for finding food themselves. Our people food is not the best thing for them. As far as approaching bears in the wild, it is best to stay away from black bear. If a black bear hasn't seen you and you happen to see one across the street from you, take a moment to have that beautiful experience, but do not approach a black bear. Make sure to secure your garbage cans and recycling. Bears have a very keen sense of smell and can rip open garbage cans very easily, so having them secured with some sort of bungee cord or something to keep the lids down is the best way to keep our bears in our community safe. Remove bird feeders during prime active bear times. Black bears in Los Alamos are active anywhere between the very end of April, May to the middle of November. So during those times, anything we can do to keep our bears safe by not giving them food is better for bears and better for us. So at night, for instance, at the Nature Center, we take down the bird feeders that we have outside and put them back up in the morning. So that is something you can do. But if you do have a bear at your house that has eaten from your feeders, make sure to take your feeders down for a length of time around 2 weeks so the bear does not acclimatize to coming to your house for food. Do not leave your pet food outside. If you happen to feed your animals outdoors, put your food bowls out there, make sure your animals have your fill, but make sure you bring them in after your animal is done eating. That'll, again, keep the bears safe. Clean and store your grills. That means cleaning your grills thoroughly, removing all fat and food that could have dropped in the base of the grill, and then storing it in an inaccessible place, so a place the bears cannot get to, like a garage or even inside your house, if that's a possibility. I know not everybody has a garage, but just keeping in mind a good place to store a grill that is away from that can be away from bears accessing it. And I guess our last bear safety tip is to tell your neighbors, communicate with your neighbors and your friends about bears that have been spotted in the area, or these safety tips that you've learned here today. The more knowledge we can give to our neighbors and our friends, the better, and it will keep our bear neighbors and our human neighbors as safe as possible. Good luck, toppers, on your season.
Hi, I'm Curtis Christensen, Managing Director of the Los Alamos Program Management Office here at TechSource. TechSource is honored to have the opportunity to support Hilltoppers basketball. We are part of the Lab's Triad team working towards mission delivery, and we are part of the community right here, living the example that it is team that gets it done. To borrow some of the famous Coach Wooden's words, the main ingredient to winning is team. All the team. The players that listen, push, and focus during practice, the support from the bench, and those 5 on the court. Los Alamos is a special community. We count ourselves lucky to be able to have the opportunity to support its people, events, and organizations. Good luck today. Go Toppers.
Join the University of New Mexico Los Alamos for the exceptional education. Join us for the small class sizes. Join us for the quality faculty and staff who are dedicated to your success. Whatever your reason for joining us, start here, go anywhere. Go Hilltoppers.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the District 2 4A Championship game here at Taos High School. And the Hilltoppers, who having battled all the way through from the 4 seed, this is going to be their 4th game in 5 days. They started off on Monday and Tuesday and then Thursday, and so now they'll play tonight. So they had to start at the bottom. They were the 4 seed, so they had a home game, and then they had to be on the road. And this is Gene Mortensen, my good buddy Mike Mays. And we're here at Taos High School to bring you this championship game. This is all brought to you by the Los Alamos Daily Post. I want to thank Carol Clark for making all that possible. And they go through a lot of pregame stuff here, Mike. So it might be a while before we actually get this game going.
Yeah, that's true. They're gonna have. It looks like they're gonna have a flag ceremony. The 400 Taos cheerleaders have taken the court right now, so we'll see what happens. But I think we're about to have our flag ceremony. But in the event, good crowd tonight. This is. This is an older gym, but it's kind of neat. I kind of like it. Just kind of the way it's set up.
Yeah, but my sons, Larry and Russ played in this gym in high school. That was back in the 70s. So that completes the national anthem. The young lady singing at an extremely high octave.
Yeah, that must have been tough.
No.
But in any event, as a national anthem, so it looks like we still got some ceremony to go over here. But District 2 Quad A Championship Tournament Championship game tonight between the 4th-seeded Hilltoppers and the top-seeded Taos Tigers. Taos Tigers, we saw them up at Griffith Gymnasium. Very solid. They do a lot of things very, very well, and they are big down low. That's going to be the Toppers' challenge. Try to slow that down tonight. Got two pretty big guys near the basket. That is 6'5" senior Xavier Duke, and the BMOC for the Tigers, Damon. What did we decided his last name was?
Casey told me it was Ely.
Ely, okay. All right, so Damon Ely, a 6'8" senior. Remember, you saw them in at Griffith Gym, and Ely put in a couple of thunderous flushes in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
That was kind of the beginning of the end for that ball game.
It was. Yeah, at first he had that slam dunk on a fast break, and he just went and jammed it in the basket, and then about the next time down the floor, he got an alley-oop pass and went up in the air and grabbed it and slammed that one down through the net. So it was back to back. And like Mike said, that was kind of the beginning of the end. It's kind of like took the wind out of the tires of Los Alamos at that point. And so anyway, they ended up winning that ball game, by the way, 58-40 or 59-48. Sorry, let me do that again. 58-49. I can do this. Anyway, and they were led in that ball game by Damon Ely. He had 19 points, and then Xavier Duke, he wasn't that big a factor actually. He had 7 points. The other young man that really took it to the basket, and especially in the first half, and that was Giovanni Varela, and But anyway, right now we've got the starting lineup being introduced, and so I'm going to turn this over to Mike.
All right. So the Toppers come in. They are the visiting team. They come in tonight with a record of 13-16 overall. They're coached by Benito Maeses. Going to go with their same starting five that they've had pretty much all season. Nico Garcia, a 6-foot junior. Kyle Evanhus, a sophomore. Sophomore Ethan Mondragon. Josiah Fresquez, a 5'6" sophomore, and the lone senior on the entire team, 6'2", Rick Valdez down low. For the Taos Tigers, they are coached by Hernando Chavez. They are 16-10 overall. Won the district with a record of 7-1 during the regular season. And they will start Mateo Chavez. He is a 5'6" senior. Noah Washington is a 5'9" junior. Giovanni Varela is a 5'10" junior. 6'5" senior. Xavier Duke. And Damian Ellie, a 6'8" senior. That is your starters for the Taos Tigers.
See what the PA announcer, when he introduces Damon here in a minute. So see what he calls him.
He'll probably call him like Jones or something.
Yeah. There's Giovanni Varela, and so it'll be Xavier Duke.
Ely, all right.
All right, fan out the fight. We've been calling him Eli and Ellie, and talked to Casey Trio from KDC the other night, and he corrected me. He said, "No, it's Ely."
All right.
We finally got that figured out after how many years have we been doing this?
Yeah, just in time for his last game he'll ever play with Los Alamos. So good job, us.
Yeah. So anyway, we're just about ready to go here as the Hilltoppers come in. The ball game they lost them. They beat them here in Taos the first time. Taos, that was the only loss for Taos in the district. They were 7-1 in district play, and their only loss came at the hands of Los Alamos here at the Taos Gymnasium. And so Damon L. Ely, he just controls the tip easily, and he brings it over now to Noah Washington. Washington out on top to Ely. Damon with the pass will bring it over to the left side to Xavier Duke. Hilltoppers right now in a matching zone, but boy, taking it to the hole. Damon Ely right down the baseline on the right side, full court press, and as Josiah Fresca is dribbling through a triple team, Los Alamos has all kinds of players open. They had three guys on pressing, and on that they put them on Josiah Fresca. Fresca loses a handle on the ball, picks it up, gets it over to Ethan Mondragon. Mondragon will give it back to Nico Garcia. They'll get it in the corner now over to Josiah Fresca. Fresca's still in a dribble, and so he finally now he gets a screen from Rick Valdez. He's going to bounce it back out to Nico. 3-point shot by Nico. That's off. Rebounds on the floor. They're fighting for it, and laying on the floor, Xavier Duke. I mean, normally they would call that traveling, but he was laying on the floor, moving all over with the ball. But anyway, the ball ends up going out of bounds. They rule it off of Los Alamos. So Taos will bring it in. They're going to bring it out on top now to Giovanni Varela. Varela inside is Xavier Duke. Great move by Xavier Duke. Wow. Made a fake to the right, came back to the left, laid it over the front of the rim with his left hand. Pass up the floor comes to Ethan Mondragon. And right now the Tigers are being very, very aggressive with their defense. They're playing. And so Josiah Fresca just starts things off with a three-pointer, top of the key. So Josiah Fresca says okay, and so he starts off the scoring for Los Alamos as he picks up the three-point basket. So that makes it right now a 4-3 ball game. Shot from outside is off. Rebound comes down to Ely. Damon puts it in.
Boy, oh boy, and the big man already being a factor in this contest right off the bat. Ooh, the Toppers nearly threw the ball back across the timeline, but Ely, big rebound and put back there, and then Duke on the previous possession is a fantastic move to the basket.
So Josiah Fresca gets a screen from Duke from Rick Valdez, and and comes down the right side of the lane, puts the shot up. It's way short. He was in all kinds of traffic. Quickly, the Tigers bring it down the floor. They get it in a hurry, and they get it down the floor to Mateo Chavez. And he gets it over to Damon Ely. Ely going to the basket is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. The personal foul went to Nico Garcia. That is his first, and that is the first team foul on Los Alamos. And Ely misses the first free throw. So he'll shoot one more. 6-3 right now with 5.5 minutes to go here in the first period. And Ely puts the second shot up and in. So right now he's got 5 points. He has 5 of the 7. And the Hilltoppers coming down in that press. It's almost they have people open everywhere. But they get it to Zaya Frescas, 3-point shot from the right wing. Rebound comes down to the Tigers. Across the timeline they come to Noah Washington. Washington will bounce it over to Giovanni Varela. Varela going to make a move to the basket. Nice. Whoa. Comes around from the right wing. Comes around with the ball in the left hand. Goes up in the air. And then just floats it right through the basket. So a beautiful move by the 5'10 junior. Makes it a 9-3 ball game. Josiah Frescas way out near the half-court line. And he signaled Rick Valdez, who was going to set up a screen for him. Nico Garcia takes it right down Broadway. Boy, I'm telling you, he went right through traffic, and a lot of traffic. Somehow put that ball up. He went to the floor, but he was able to put it off the backboard and in. So Nico Garcia picks up his first 2 points, and the personal foul will go this time now to Mateo Chavez. Nico at the free throw line attempting to complete the 3-point play. He doesn't, as he misses it, but he gets his own rebound. Comes now out to Josiah Frescas. Frescas over in the corner, gets it to Kyle Evanhuis. 3-point shot by Kyle is off. Noah Washington loses the ball out of bounds for the Tigers, so it will be inbounded by Los Alamos under their own basket, baseline right. They'll hand the ball to Nico Garcia. 9-5 ball game right now. The Hilltoppers down by 4. They bring it out on top of Ethan Mondragon. Mondragon take it all the way over to the other side. On the left side of the key, now all the way on top. So right now it's almost out near the half-court line. And so Rick Valdez starts to go. And
ball knocked out of bounds. They initially said that it was a Tigers ball, but it looked like it deflected off of one of the Tigers.
Well, one of the Tigers stuck a hand in there and then whacked it out of his hands and out of bounds. And they gave it to the Tigers. One of the other officials came up and said, no, that's not right. Josiah Frescas puts up the 3-point shot. Damon Ely with the rebound. He's bringing it down the floor. The ball is knocked away, and it's finally stolen away by Frescas. Josiah will bring it back up the floor for Los Alamos. This time, no press being put on by the Tigers. The Tigers have been trapping and double teaming all over the place. Josiah is going to bring it out on top to Ethan Mondragon. He's in the half-court circle. Brings it to the right to Nico Garcia. Back to Kyle Evanhuis. Now over to Josiah. Frescas puts the ball on the floor. So the Hilltoppers way out from the 3-point line are just moving the ball around. And so then Frescas backs into the half-court circle. He'll hand it to Nico Garcia. Back to Frescas over in the corner. Ethan Mondragon thinks about the 3, decides not to. And now Nico Garcia says, I'll do it. And he does it. And Nico Garcia with a 3-pointer. And that makes it a 9-8 ball game. Full court press by Los Alamos. Damon Ely coming up the floor. And he's just going to take it right to the basket. And he should have been called for traveling, but they're going to say that they're going to call a foul on Los Alamos. I mean, he took that ball and then when he got about the free throw circle, he just ran to the basket. And so they're going to call the foul, and that one is going to go to Kyle Evanhuis. Well, it's going to go to Nico. That's his second personal on Nico Garcia, and that is the second team foul on Los Alamos. And Ely at the free throw line puts in the first. So he'll shoot one more. He's a 2 for 2 for 3 from the line right now. He's going to go for one more. And this one he misses, but the rebound is pulled down momentarily by Mateo Salazar. He loses the handle. The ball picked up by Enrique Tafoya, who was checked in for Los Alamos. Josiah Frescas, ball Hilltoppers down by 2, 10-8 with 2:40 to go here in the first quarter.
That's a second rebound by the Tigers. They should have had easily, but couldn't find the handle.
So they shot from way out this time by Nico Garcia. Rebound comes down to Damon Ely. Ely just brings it all the way down the right sideline, dribbling through 2 or 3 toppers who tried to pick him up. Finally, he gets clear over on the right sideline, about even with the free throw line. Decides to throw it to Xavier Duke. Unfortunately, Xavier wasn't in the stands. He threw that ball. That pass, he threw that all the way up into the bleachers.
And Fresca is going down the baseline, dishes it off to Garcia. Garcia was in the key. He takes it back up to the top. And Toppers still moving it. A nice shot there by Garcia. Got a little bit of open space on the right side. Knocked it in for a second 3 of the quarter. Toppers take a 1-point lead.
Yeah, we have 1:45 to go here. Noah Washington was going to take it to the hole. He was cut off. He gets it to Ely. Damon decides to go up against Rex Chavez. Gets away with another travel. Oh, my God. And so then the shot is missed, but the rebound comes down to Lionel Salazar. And Salazar puts it back in for 2 to make it 12-11. Full court press by the Tigers. Josiah Frescas brings it up, dribbles through a triple team. Dishes it off at the last second to Rick Valdez. So penetrating all the way down. He took it all the way to the basket. Thought he was going to just push the layup, but the last second he dishes it over to the left side to Rick Valdez, who just puts it in for 2. Hilltoppers lead once again, 13-12. Ely will hand the ball now over to Mateo Chavez. Mateo to Noah Washington in the corner. They go to Giovanni Varela. Now they're going to get it into Ely. Nico Garcia is on Ely right now. And now Ely trying to come down the baseline on the right side. He said Ely complaining to the official that he got fouled, but he stepped on the baseline. So he's just been kind of forcing it.
And Ely going to check out of the ball game here with 39 seconds left.
The Hilltoppers leading 13-12. Ryan Fresca's coming up and loses the handle, and the ball is picked up by the Tigers, and then the Tigers. This ball is stolen back away by Josiah. He goes to the basket, puts it up, and puts it up in front of the rim, goes over and doesn't put it up high enough. And so now they're going to call Nico Garcia on a reach-in foul.
Yep, and that will be his third.
That'll be his third, and we're still in the first quarter.
I was very surprised they didn't pull him out of the game after he picked up his second.
Yeah,
and gets called for the reach in there, and that is his third foul, and we're still in the first quarter.
Yeah, we have 10 seconds to go in the quarter, and Nico Garcia. So now Damon Ely gets it inside. He gets it inside to Xavier Duke. Duke trying to save it back out as the pass went awry. So Xavier Duke trying to save it back in, ends up throwing it out of bounds. Hilltoppers will inbound it, and we only have less than a second to go. The Hilltoppers lead 13-12 after 1 quarter of play here at Taos High School. And the story of the first quarter, Mike, is Nico Garcia with 3 personal fouls. And boy, I'm telling you, that is going to hurt.
Boy, oh boy! And like you say, he picked up 2 quick fouls, both of them going against Ely. And the Toppers immediately ran Ethan Tafoya, or Enrique Tafoya rather, to the scores desk. I assumed he was going in for Nico, and he was not. And so they left Nico out there, and with under 30 seconds left, he picks up his third foul. I mean, I'm not quite sure what the Toppers want to do now. He's probably gonna have to sit out most of this quarter, and he has been a huge chunk of their offense so far. The Toppers working the ball around the perimeter, which they should be doing. The fact of the matter is there is just too much, not a whole lot of space out there underneath the key, but. Garcia is a huge part of that. Eddie Gart's going to inbound the ball for the Toppers to start this second quarter. Gart's a good spot-up shooter, but we'll see. We'll see what happens if Toppers want to switch tacks here without Nico Garcia.
So underneath, they get it to Rick Valdez. Valdez will get it to Enrique Tafoya to Eddie Gartz, who is in for Los Alamos right now. Josiah Frescas over to Kyle Evan, who's inside to Rick Valdez. Valdez, they bring it out on top to Josiah Frescas. Frescas guy tries to go through a double team, trips and falls. Damon Ely coming down the floor. He's going to dish it underneath to Xavier Duke. And Xavier Duke wide open, just lays it in. So it makes it a 14-13 ball game. Hilltopper is down by 1, but the Hilltopper Eddie Gartz with it. Pass inside, easily picked off by Xavier Duke. That pass just went into all kinds of traffic. He started to make a bounce pass, and as soon as he started to make it, 3 Taos Tigers got right there in the lane where the ball was going to come in. It was easy for them to pick it off. Noah Washington puts the shot up. It's short, gets his own rebound, gets it underneath to Xavier Duke. Duke starts to go up, and we're going to have a personal foul against one of the Hilltoppers. Let's see who they want to lay that on. It's going to be a shooting foul, but they still haven't told us who it's on. Okay, and so let me see. They'll get around to it sometime here, I guess. Anyway, right now, so Xavier Duke at the free throw line.
And Duke with 5 points in this ball game. Well, yeah, we still know who picked up the foul, and they're going to call that. They're going to call that on Josiah Frescas. The scores table buzzed the official because they didn't get a definitive signal who that was on. As Duke hits the second one, 3-point ball game here. The Tigers up early in the second quarter,
and right now there's the Tiger defense is just this harassing, swarming defense. And so what happens is when Enrique Tafoya came down the sideline, as soon as he got into Hilltopper territory, he was actually quadruple teamed. 3-point shot taken by Josiah, and we're going to have a personal foul on the rebound here, and I think that's going to go to Lionel Salazar, I do believe. Yeah, it does. And so that's going to be Lionel's. Well, they say that's his second foul.
And so Salazar will go to the bench. And Fresca's way up top. He is, oh my goodness. I can't believe how aggressive this defense is.
I mean, the defense, somebody gets the ball and then they're being double and triple teamed. So there's got to be a lot of open. Eddie Gartz with it for Los Alamos. Gets it to Josiah Frescas. Frescas starts to dribble in. He's cut off. Gets the screen from Rick Valdez. Brings it over to Eddie Gartz. 3-point shot by Eddie. That's going to be short. Rebound comes down to Ely. Damon, long pass down the floor.
So Damon is obviously under the impression that all of his teammates are 6'8".
Oh, I guess.
Because he had a streaker going down the right side, but he threw that ball 5 feet over his head.
Yeah, and slammed it into the wall. So right now, the Frescas will bring it up. Toppers trailing by 3. So they wait with that. Right now, it's waiting. It was kind of a zone press. Now Enrique Tafoya comes in, and they get it over. The ball comes now over to Eddie Gartz, and
I think Ely kicked it out of bounds.
Yeah, Kyle Evan, who's coming down the baseline, got the ball, and like I say, the ball just went flying. Eddie Gartz gets the inbound pass, and Eddie puts it in for 2 for Los Alamos. So that makes it a 16-15 ball game. Now just walking it up for the Tigers. Noah Washington. will bring it to the right wing. Shoves away at Kyle Evanus. Gets it to Damon Ely. Ely picks up his dribble and bring it out on top to Mateo Chavez. 3-point shot by Mateo is off. Rebound comes down to, this time to Enrique Tafoya. Tafoya will get it to Frescas. Desire will bring it up. The Hilltoppers down by 1, 16-15. We have 5 minutes to go, second quarter. And Frescas comes across the timeline. Over to Eddie Gartz. Working against that zone, and it's a swarming zone. They just, once they see if somebody dribbles, especially if they pick up the dribble, then they're immediately triple teamed. Hilltoppers get it to Frescas. Frescas is just playing catch with Enrique Tafoya at the moment. Now they bring it over to Eddie Gard, so the Hilltoppers just passing it. Frescas, 3-point shot up and in. So all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, Josiah decides to let it fly, and the Hilltoppers take a lead, 18-16. Pass underneath. Going to go to Damon Ely. Ely goes up, and he's going to be fouled, and this personal foul will go. Let's see who they're going to give this to. They're going to give this to, I do believe, to Kyle Evanus. That's his first. That is the 15th foul on Los Alamos. And Damon Ely at the free throw line makes the first. So he had 6 points in the first quarter. That gives him 7. And a 1-point lead once again for the Tigers. Damon Ely at the free throw line to shoot one. Right now it's 4:17 remaining here in the first half. Ely, second shot, rolls around, drops in. That makes it he ties up the score, 18-18. Josiah Frescas in the backcourt brings it up to Eddie Gartz. Gartz can dribble to the corner. He's immediately triple team, gets it underneath to Valdez, and that's what they need to do. When they get the way they're swarming 2 and 3 players over at the ball. So when like Eddie Gartz got over in the corner, he was immediately surrounded by white uniforms. So he just dished it down to Rick Valdez, and Valdez puts it in for 2, and he's fouled. That personal foul goes to Xavier Duke. That's his first. And Rick Valdez at the free throw line misses, does not complete the 3-point play. But it's 2018. It's almost up by 2. Damon Ely decides he's going to take it to the basket. Goes up. He misses. Xavier Duke gets the rebound. He's off. And then Ben McBride, who is checked in for Los Alamos, gets the rebound. He gets it up to Josiah Frescas. Frescas working against Mateo Chavez. Skip pass across comes to Enrique Tafoya. Tafoya with a 3-point shot. Rebound comes down to Josiah Frescas in the lane. And a little turnaround 10-foot jumper by Josiah Frescas. He now has 8 points in the ballgame, and it's a 4-point lead for Los Alamos, 22-18. And so Mateo, well, this is ridiculous. I mean, Mateo Chavez just elbowed Josiah Frescas right in the nose. And I don't know what they're doing. They stopped play, but I don't know what they're calling here. But, boy, I mean, that was a clear shot to the elbow. Josiah telling the official, I got elbowed, man. And he did. But right now, he's going to give the ball to the Tigers under their own basket. I don't know what in the world all that was about.
I don't know what the stoppage was for.
I don't either. 3-point shot from the corner is off. Rebound comes down to Ely, and Ely just puts it right back in. Makes it 22-20. Hilltoppers up by 2. And Frescas will bring it up for Los Alamos. 2:58 remains here in the second quarter. Frescas with the ball. We'll get it down to Rick Valdez. Valdez loses the handle. Picked up there by Xavier Duke. Duke gets up and Washington. Washington dribbles it off his foot. And it's on the floor. Rick Valdez dives for it. Going to be a held ball. That will go to the Tigers.
Wow. I wonder if this isn't like a new, really slick ball or something. We've seen all kinds of players. The ball just go right through their fingers. I wonder if something's not going on with the ball.
Yeah, really. I mean, passes that should be caught easily are not being caught easily. Noah Washington, with it, comes down the baseline, and he loses it out of bounds on the baseline, trying to cut around the baseline. He was trying to get it to Damon Ely, and loses it. loses the handle, steps on the baseline, 22-20. Los Alamos up by 2 with 2:25 to go, second quarter.
Slick basketball. Gee, where's Tom Brady when you need him? He'll fix that problem.
Yes, he will. Enrique Tafoya starts to go in, 3-point shot. This is going to be partially blocked by Eddie Gartz, is right there as Noah Washington got a finger on it. 22-20, Taos down by 2. 2 minutes to go, first half. The ball comes now to Giovanni Varela. Varela will get it to Ely. Ely's going to give it right back to Giovanni Varela. So a little give and go. And Varela picks up his 4th point and makes it a 22 ball game.
That was a nice move. You don't run a give and go much better than that.
No, you don't. Eddie Gartz gets open in the lane, puts it up. It tried to put it up over the front of the rim, but just didn't put it up hard enough at all. All it did was just barely get up and touch the front of the rim. Comes over now to Damon Ely. Ely in the corner. We'll get it to Giovanni Varela. We're going to have a foul away from the ball. That's going to go against the Tigers. And let's see. I think that's going to give that to that will.
I think it's going to go to Salazar, and if that's right, that'll be his 3rd.
Yes.
And so, wow. So, timeout on the floor here. 1:25 remaining, 22-22 ball game. Nico Garcia has been out this entire quarter. Picked up his 3rd foul late in the first quarter. He has not set foot on the court since. And then for the Tigers, Mateo Salazar just picked up his 3rd foul. So a couple of guys piling things up. Nobody else has gotten more than 1 at this point for either team. But Toppers hanging in there. The Toppers, without Nico Garcia, are facing a couple of, a really, really big opponent, but they're holding their own. Toppers have been able to hit some medium-range jumpers and have done a decent job rebounding so far, so they're still in this ball game.
They're still on that zone press. Coming across the timeline now is Josiah Frescas, and going to get it over to Rick Valdez. Valdez over to Ben McBride. McBride on the right wing gets it out to Josiah. Josiah will bounce it over to Enrique Tafoya in the left wing, and Enrique in the corner. And we should have a held ball. And it's one of those ones where nobody has possession, so Taos jumps up. Taos coach Fernando Chavez jumps up and calls timeout. And so they give it to him. So nobody has possession of the ball. They're fighting for it. Fernando Chavez jumps up and calls timeout. And so he gets the timeout.
And he gets the ball, of course,
and
because that's the rule, apparently.
So they do that all the time now. You see the ball. You'll see these scrambles on the floor, and the ball will be loose. Nobody will even be holding the ball. One coach jumps up and yells timeout, and they give it to him. Well, that's been going on for all year long. Anyway, but right now it's 22-22 and 55.40 seconds on the clock. All tied up here in this district championship game. And the Hilltoppers playing the entire second quarter without the services of Nico Garcia. Checking in with Isaiah Apodaca, and he will get the inbound pass for the Tiger. Gets a screen from Ely. He's going to put up 3-point shot. That's off. The rebound is going to come down to right now. We're going to have getting the rebound momentarily was Giovanni Varela, and then there was a scramble, and they're going to call.
And they're going to call, I guess, McBride. That'll be his first.
Yeah, Ben McBride gets his first personal, and they're going to say it was a shooting foul, which I didn't see. It's going to shoot a 1-on-1. Okay. So it puts it up. It's all wrong. And Rick Valdez gets the rebound. And 30 seconds to go. Tie ball game here in the district championship game. Ethan Mondragon gets it underneath to Rick Valdez. Valdez goes right at Damon Ely and just lays it right over Ely. And so Rick picks up his 6th point in the ball game. Hilltoppers go up by 2 with 11 seconds to go. They're going to get it to Ely. Ely gets it over to Giovanni Varela. 3-point shot from outside. That's off. Xavier Duke with the rebound, puts it up. The official says no good. It didn't go in anyway.
So that'll do it for the first half of this ball game. Toppers up 24-22 over the Tigers. Toppers coming up with 11 points in that quarter. The Tigers coming up with 10 points. So Toppers with a 2-point edge here at the break. And just back and forth contest here. The Tigers trying to move the ball inside as they should. Toppers, for the most part, have tried to stay on the perimeter, but have taken their shots inside when they could get them after several passes up front, up at the top rather. Have been able to kind of pick and choose their battles, and they're picking and choosing fairly well right now. So 9 minutes, and we'll be back for the second half. You're listening to the Los Alamos Daily Post YouTube channel, and this is the District 2 Quad A Championship, a boys basketball game between the Toppers and the Taos Tigers.
So right now they're rolling out the mats like they do at the pit. So anyway, they're rolling out the mats, and so I guess the cheerleaders or somebody are going to do some kind of a little dance, and so the mats there when they do their little pyramids or whatever else they do. So that's going on now. But right now, the Hilltoppers leading in this ball game 24-22 as the and did a good job in the second. They were up by 1 at the end of the first quarter, and then Nico Garcia went out right away in the beginning of the quarter. In fact, he went out in the first quarter, actually. He went to the bench right at the end of the first quarter. And what I couldn't believe, Mike, was when he had 2 personal fouls. First of all, they left him in the ball game, and then secondly, they had him guarding Damon Ely. And that I didn't quite understand because, trying to guard Ely and you have 2 personal fouls. I mean, you can't be very aggressive. And so, but interestingly enough, when Nico did pick up the third foul, it wasn't against Damon Ely. So,
really surprising the way that worked. Meanwhile, apparently we're going to have a recreation of the Super Bowl halftime show here.
I guess so.
I mean, this is quite the production here with the Taos cheerleaders.
Yes, it certainly is.
But we'll see what they want to do, and there's a ton of cheerleaders.
Oh, they're everywhere. I don't see the cheerleader coming out in a red costume though. So
that's right. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But
anyway, here they go. And they're all over the place.
Wow. This is quite the production in front of us. But, Gene, a quick recap of the scoring here for the Tigers. Damon Ely with 10 points in that first half. Took a lot of shots, actually, and went under. Kind of interesting the way they're using him tonight. He's been playing a lot toward the top of the key and has been driving in. He hasn't done a whole lot of posting up. We've seen him do an awful lot of dribbling, but he had a couple of takes to the basket. He has 10 points. He leads all scorers here right now. Xavier Duke ended up with 6 in that first half, and 4 points for Giovanni Varela. For the Toppers, Josiah Fresquez, he finished with 8 points. He had 2 3-pointers in that first half. And also with that, with 2 3-pointers was Nico Garcia. He also has 8 points, but as we said, did not play in that second quarter. Rick Valdez was 6, and Eddie Gartz with a bucket. So only 4 players for each team getting in the scoring column so far. Garcia with 3 personal fouls. Mateo Salazar for the Tigers with 3 personal fouls. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'm not sure how long Benito Maesa is going to want Nico on the bench. I guess we'll see whether he comes out for the second half or not. But they've done okay so far without him. Josiah hit a big 3-pointer in that second quarter, but Nico is obviously a threat to shoot from the perimeter. So, but Los Alamos has been able. Interestingly, after Nico went out, Gene, the Tigers did not change up their defensive strategy even a little bit. This is an aggressive, swarming, trapping defense, but Los Alamos was able a couple times to find somebody inside and get the ball into him. Rick Valdez with a couple of buckets that way. But just interestingly, they decided not to do anything different after Nico went out.
That's exactly right. And the thing is that the way they're swarming, it's actually a zone. It's like a matchup zone. But when they were pressing, for instance, when Josiah Frescas early in the ball game, when he got the ball and they pressed him, they sent 3 guys down there. They had 3 players on Josiah way down right at the free throw line of the Taos basket, and they had 3. So Josiah, he had not much choice except to dribble through all of them, which he did. But for the entire half, I mean, as soon as somebody dribbles, if you're just passing the ball around the perimeter, they just kind of move with the ball a little bit. If somebody tries to penetrate, or especially if they dribble to the wing or dribble down in the corner, they're immediately double teamed, triple teamed as they just swarm. And so as Eddie Gartz did the right thing. He just took that ball over into the corner on the right side. He was immediately swarmed, and then he just bounced it into Rick Valdez, who was open. And so the Hilltoppers have to have open people if they can just do when they get swarmed, if they can see it where they are, and if whoever is not doesn't have the ball, they need to make a move and try to get there so they can get a pass like the one he gave to Rick Valdez, because it's right now the defense is just chasing the ball. It looks like the little, what is it, the tiny tot soccer game, I guess, where everybody just chases the ball. So anyway.
Yeah, it really does. So by the way, Gene, of course, this is the District 2 4A boys basketball tournament. Should the Toppers prevail this evening, they will get an automatic bid into the state Class 4A championships. 2 weeks ago, I don't know. I didn't think we'd be in this position, to be honest with you. But the Toppers right there. They are one half a play away from getting to the state tournament, to qualifying for the state tournament. Tomorrow night at 6:00 at Griffith Gymnasium, the Topper girls, the District 2 4A regular season champs, will host the girls district tournament championship game against the Moriarty Pintos. So the Toppers have played the Pintos twice and had very little problem with the Pintos. So Toppers should be favored for that ball game. We'll see how that goes. And then Sunday, big day for both the boys and the girls. That is seeding and selection committee. That is they'll do that on Sunday. The Topper teams will find out their fates. The Topper girls are already going to the state playoffs. We'll see what seed they end up with. You know, the Topper boys, they are right on the verge of qualifying straight out. Yeah, and again, even a couple of weeks ago, like I said, I just didn't see the Toppers even having a prayer for an at-large bid should they not win this tournament. Now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, really. They if they lose this ball game, they're going to be 13-17. If they win it, of course, it doesn't matter. They will be 14-16. But if they win this ball game, then they get like Mike says, they get an automatic bid. And at the same time, Taos already has an automatic bid. So if the Hilltoppers win this one, then we'll send at least 2 teams from the District 2 4A. And I'm pretty sure on the other side of the fence that the Hilltoppers have had no trouble with Moriarty, but Moriarty has had no trouble with the rest of the district. And Moriarty has a good record, and they've been playing very well. I mean, Los Alamos just has their number, and that's all there is to it. But we'll see what happens tomorrow night. But the thing is, I think that no matter what happens tomorrow night, I think the Hilltoppers, of course, they have the automatic bid, but I think Moriarty's going to get an at-large bid. If they don't win tomorrow night, I think we'll still see Moriarty in the tournament. And we're ready to go. And Nico Garcia is in the ballgame for Los Alamos. And as the Hilltoppers bring it in, they get his eye. Frescas, whoa. He had a wide open move from the left side. I don't know why he cut to the right. He was going right down the left side of the lane. Nobody picked him up. All he had to do is lay it in with the left hand. At the last second, he tried to cut. He cut across the lane to the right, puts his shot up, misses the shot, but the Hilltoppers get the rebound. Comes out now to Frescas, and Frescas could shoot left-handed. I don't understand why he switched. Nico Garcia and Frescas with the ball right now.
So Ely actually was kind of rotating over. And I think Frescas got a little jittery. Ely wasn't going to get there to stop the shot, but I think his movement over was just enough.
Ryan Frescas with a little short jump shot. That's off. Rick Valdez with the rebound. His putback is off. The Tigers pick it up, trailing 24-22 here in the third quarter. We'll come to Ely. Ely will get it over to Mateo Salazar. And to Mateo Chavez. Chavez to Ely in the corner. Ely brings it all the way out on top to Giovanni Barella. Barella starts to go in, has the ball knocked away from him by Kyle Evanhus, and then trying to get the ball back. The Tigers are going to pick up the foul, and you see that all the time. You steal the ball, and then you can't steal the ball from me. So the Hilltoppers quickly bring it into Frescas. He's double team, gets out of the double team, gets it to Nico. Nico over to Frescas. And skip pass across comes to Kyle Evanhus. They get it. Pass comes into Rick Valdez. He wasn't expecting it. And so down the other end, they get it to Ely. And Ely with a slam-a-jamma. As he goes up with a two-handed slam. And it's now a 24-24 ball game. Nico Garcia puts up the three-pointer. That's off. Xavier Duke gets the rebound. And let's see if they're going to have a personal foul go to Rick Valdez. And so that will be Rick's first personal. 24-24 right now. We're all tied up. Rick Valdez picks up his first personal. That's the first team foul of this half. They inbound it now to Ely. Ely is going to bring it up, and he just roars right by Ethan Mondragon. He'll get it over now to Barella, get it to Ely. Ely coming right down the middle of the lane. And all they had to do was just pop it to him, and he just lays it in. Josiah Frescas quickly down the floor. Puts up a little 15-foot jump shot. That's off. Rebound comes down. Long pass down the floor. Comes down to Mateo Chavez, and Chavez picks up his first 2 points of the ball game. And so Benito Maestas wants a timeout as he finds himself suddenly down by 4, 28-24, as the Hilltoppers had led 24-22. So right now the Hilltoppers have not scored here in this third quarter. We have about 2 minutes and 15 seconds gone. Actually, 2 minutes and 17 seconds gone into the third quarter. And Mike, this ball game and then the ball game tomorrow night, the Hilltopper Girls Championship, that will be all brought to you by the Los Alamos Daily Post. And we are really happy to have the Daily Post backing us up, and a good supporter of Los Alamos High School sports, Carol Clark. She does a lot for the community, and we really appreciate her support, and we appreciate her help in getting these broadcasts to you.
Yeah, we really do, and it's great that we get the opportunity to do this, and seeing just a fantastic week of boys basketball here. We just really weren't sure what the Toppers were going to do this week. They have played about as well as they played all year this entire week.
Yeah, this is our 4th game in 5 days, and tomorrow night we're going to have our 5th game in 6 days. So the Hilltoppers now coming out of the timeout, and they get it to Ethan Mondragon, and now Taos is kind of dropped out of that swarming defense. The 3-point shot by Nico is off. Rebound comes down to Ely. Ely has the ball stolen away by Nico. Nico goes up and trying to come over and trying to come over at the last second and whack the ball away. That was was Giovanni Varela, and Varela picks up the personal. That's going to be his first. And Nico Garcia at the free throw line, he can make this a 1-point ball game. And Nico puts it up and in. 11 points now for Nico, and the great move to the basket that time. So it's now a 1-point ball game, 28-27, 5:12 remain here in the third quarter. Full court press by Los Alamos.
And we have an untied shoe.
Yeah.
Xavier Duke. What's he doing? Going deep sea fishing? How long does it take to tie his shoe?
So right now they got Damon Ely and Rick Valdez down the floor, and Ely's he was signaling and just throw the ball down the floor and throw it over Valdez's head. And but Rick did a good job on it. So right now Rick has the job of working with Damon Ely. They get it to Ely. Ely coming on the baseline on the left side. He's going to go up and he's going to be fouled. And let's see who they're going to give this to.
It's going to go to Rick Valdez, his second personal. And he's going to immediately check out of the ball game. Rick he's had a fantastic last month of the season, but unfortunately, sometimes Rick just gets foul happy.
Yes, he does. So high in the air to get the rebound, Ben McBride, who has come in for Rick Valdez. And a 30-27, a 3-point lead for the Tigers. Comes over now to Kyle Evan, who's out on top to Josiah Frescas. Frescas gets a screen from McBride. Over to Nico, 3-point shot. That's off. Rebound comes down to Noah Washington. Long pass down the floor is blocked by Kyle Evan, because they had Giovanni Varela wide open. And dribbling into the lane and putting a shot up. It's been blocked by Ben McBride. McBride gets, give me a break. I mean, a little while ago, Xavier Duke was practically swimming around on the floor. They didn't call a thing. And this time, Ben gets the rebound after blocking. Gets the ball after blocking the shot. Gets knocked down, and as soon as he falls on his butt, they call it traveling. So they inbound it. The Tigers inbound it. They get it to Xavier Duke. He's able to lay it in. He has 8 points in the ball game. In the corner, it goes to Ethan Mondragon. 3-point shot by Ethan. And Mondragon, the 5-foot sophomore, cans it. That makes it now a 32-30 ball game. Comes out on top to Isaiah Apodaca. Apodaca trying to cut in. Ball is knocked away. Nico Garcia picks it up, gets it to Josiah. Frescas coming on the floor in a hurry, and he's going to take it all the way and in, and he'll go to the line. So Josiah just came down and he just cut into the lane, into traffic. And when he got in the middle of traffic, he just let the ball go. And Josiah puts it in for the Hilltoppers. He now has 13 points in the ball game, and he's going to try to complete the 3-point play. Let's see, that's not him. Let's see, Josiah. He actually has 10 points in the ball game, and he's going to try to complete the 3-point play. And he does. So right now, it's the Hilltoppers go back up by 1, 33-32.
And Josiah still red hot from the foul, and he was 9 for 9 last night.
Ben McBride knocks it away. The ball coming right at us, and just before it I thought it was going to hit us, and just before it got to Ben McBride grabs it and throws it over to Nico Garcia. And right now, Josiah Fresca standing out near the coffin corner. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's just out there dribbling. They're going to give it over to Nico. The Hilltoppers are actually in four corners at this point. And Nico and Josiah are just playing catch. And so Josiah starts to go in, gets over to Nico. 3-point shot by Nico. That's good. Nico Garcia. The three-pointer, and the Hilltoppers go back up by 4, 36-32.
Huge shot there by Nico, and his first two three-point attempts in this quarter, Gene, were way off. That one right on target.
Eli trying to go in, cut off by Ben McBride. Good job by Ben. Xavier Duke goes in and puts it up. Ben McBride gets a hand on it and partially blocks it. Ben grabs it, gets it over to Josiah. Josiah now crosses over, gets into that coffin corner on the half line on the right side of the line. Ben is going to go in. Josiah puts up the three. That's off. Rebound down to Ben McBride. McBride gets it to Mondragon. Mondragon is leveled. I mean, leveled. So are they going to call anything here? No, I guess they're just going to call. They're just going to call Ely with the block. Well, I thought maybe there's going to be a foul, but no foul. So, and that we were screened away from that. Long pass down the floor, way down the floor, comes to Josiah Fresca. We couldn't see if the topper was knocked down, but Ely apparently blocked the shot. Josiah Fresca starts to go in, turns around, puts it up. Nice move in the lane, turnaround jumper. About an 8-foot jumper by Josiah. And Josiah now with 13 points in the ballgame, and the Hilltoppers go up by 6. Minute 40 to go. Noah Washington on the dribble. He'll bring it over now to Lionel Salazar. Salazar over to Ely. Ely wants to go in. Ben McBride on him. Good job by the junior. So he starts to go in again. And so, another, boy, that's a ticky-tack. As he started to go in on McBride, and he tried to make a spin move. And I'm telling you, if there was any contact, it was just their jerseys kind of brushing each other. But they're going to give Ben the personal foul. Ben's been doing a good job on Ely. That's his second personal. That is the third team foul in Los Alamos. 3-point shot on the way. That's off. Rebound is going to be pulled down by Ely. Ely starts to go up with a three from the corner. Decides to bring it out on top to Mateo Salazar. Back to Ely. Ely with a big, huge step. I mean, that step he took must have covered about 6 yards. 38-34. 50 seconds to go. And right now, Josiah Fresca, Hilltoppers go back to 4 corners. Josiah Fresca is just standing in the coffin corner by the half-court line. And Fresca is going to go in, starts to go up, and has his shot blocked. But he'll go to the free throw line. And that personal foul is going to go to Mateo Salazar. That's his 4th.
Wow.
And that is the 4th team foul on the Tigers. And at the free throw line, shooting 2. Josiah Frescas. Whoa.
Oh.
Well, he was 8 in a row last night. And then he put one in here to complete the 3-point play. So at that point, when he walked to the line, he was 9 for 9. I deliberately didn't say anything, Mike.
I know you didn't. You were biting your tongue. You're doing whatever you could, but
Yes.
Josiah hits the second one. 39-34, 35 seconds remaining here in this third quarter.
Damon Ely on the dribble. Now he gets the screen and right down the middle, puts it up, and of course, he'll go to the free throw line. And I think they're going to call Ben McBride, and Ben is like, what did I do?
Well, let's see. That could have gone to Josiah, too.
Well,
Yeah, I know they are going to call. They're going to call that on Ben. That will be his 3rd. I thought Josiah actually got him on the arm. I thought that's what they were calling.
So Ely at the free throw line misses the first. He has 12 points in the ball game right now, and in the ball game in Los Alamos, he scored. Let's see, up there he scored 19. Most of those coming in the 4th quarter. So Ely's up for the second shot. This one also off. Rebound comes down to Noah Washington. And so
Did the Toppers get a hand on that? I thought the Tigers just lost it out of bounds.
Yeah, so did I.
But they're giving it back to the Tigers. Not a whole lot of protest from the Toppers. So
23 seconds. Referee literally pushing Enrique Tafoya back. So the Hilltoppers, they're going to inbound it to Ely. 20 seconds to go. Ely's going to make that move to the basket, puts it up and in. So Ely, 14 points in the ball game. There's 8 seconds to go. 3-point. The shot taken by Los Alamos is off, and we're going to have a
I don't know
I don't know what in the world they're calling, but they're going to call a personal foul. And this one is going to go to Rick Valdez. That's going to be his third. It'll be inbounded under the Taos basket. And Ely's going to try to shoot a three, but he just didn't have any chance at all. And the Hilltoppers lead after 3 quarters, 39-36 over the Taos Tigers. The Hilltoppers came up with 15 points in that quarter and held the Tigers to 14, so they increased their lead by 1. They were up 24-22 at the end of the first half, but now it's a 3-point differential, 39-36. So right now, Mike, the foul situation for Los Alamos is Nico Garcia has 3, got all those in the first quarter. Rick Valdez then picked up 3, trying to work on, as he was trying to work on Damon Ely. And so then Nick came out of the ball game for a while, and Ben McBride came in. And we have 1 senior, 2 juniors, and the rest are all sophomores. So Ben McBride, the other junior, but Ben came in doing a fantastic job on defense against Ely. And boy, I mean, that one particular foul was as ticky-tack as it gets.
Yeah, it really was. That was an unfortunate foul, but the Toppers up by 3. Gene, the Toppers have won every quarter so far by 1 point over the Tigers.
Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah, they won the first one 13-12, then 11-10, now 15-14. So the Tigers will inbound the ball to start this 4th quarter.
So they bring it into Ely, and Ely elbows Nico. They're going to call a foul on Nico, and Ely just came around and elbowed. I mean, he just came around with the elbow and just elbowed Nico in the nose. And if that was a college game, they'd be looking at the monitor, and it would be a flagrant foul. I mean, he probably would be ejected from the game, but there's a three-point shot by the Tigers. And then Josiah Frescas comes up with a 3-point shot. Ball's on the floor. Ely coming down. He's going to try to take it all the way. He goes up. His shot is blocked by Ben McBride, but they're going to call Ben for the foul. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And that's going to be Ben's 4th.
But Ely just came around. He caught the ball there right in the top of the lane, and then he just came around and he just whacked. I mean, Nico was just standing there. Nico didn't do anything. I mean, if anything, the foul was on Nico's nose. So he nosed him, and then so now it's a 39-39 ball game as Ely goes to the free throw line, misses the first. Who made that 3-pointer for them?
That was Ely. So he missed the first. Battle for the rebound, but it was a 2-shot foul.
But after he elbowed Nico, somebody made a 3-pointer for the Tigers. Misses the second one, and then nope, it rolls around and pops in.
No, Ely hit the 3-pointer as well.
Oh, okay.
So he's got all 4 points for the Tigers. Tigers up by 1, and we're going to have a reach-in foul near the timeline on Taos. That is going to go to Mateo Chavez. That is his 3rd.
Well, it looks like they're giving it to Mateo Chavez. That's right. That is his 3rd, and the Hilltoppers shooting a 1-and-1.
Well, they have 7 fouls under Los Alamos. I don't know if that's how many they're committed or how many of.
No, you're right. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong side of the scoreboard. So anyway,
that is the 5th team foul on the Tigers.
Right to Ben McBride. Nice pass, entry pass from Josiah Frescas into Ben McBride. McBride turns around with a little short jumper, and he puts it in for 2. That makes it now a 41-40 ball game. Hilltoppers down by 1. You bring it over now to Giovanni Varela. Varela out to Ely. Ely starts to shoot the 3. Decides not to. Now he dribbles out near the half-court circle. 6.5 minutes to go. 4th quarter, 41-40. And Ely's going to make his move down the lane. Puts it up. Shot is blocked by Ben McBride. And it's going to go out of bounds off of the Hilltoppers. But Ben McBride playing a fantastic ball game here for the Hilltoppers. I don't have a height on him, but he looks like he's about 6'1" or 6, at least 6'1". Ely pass across, goes over, 3-point shot. This is going to be off. Rebound's going to come right down on the floor. Battle for it, and the battle is won by Enrique Tafoya. Gets it to Josiah Frescas. Frescas just comes straight down Broadway, puts the shot up. But right there, Enrique Tafoya grabs a rebound and puts it in for the Hilltoppers. And so the Hilltoppers take back the lead, 43-40. A 3-point lead for Los Alamos. Great play that time by the sophomore, Enrique Tafoya. Across the timeline they come, and they get it over now to Bonnie Varela. 3-point shot by Ely. That's off. Rebound comes down to Josiah Frescas. Frescas in the backcourt, working right now on Mateo Chavez. So he's going to bring it up. He finally gets it over to Enrique Tafoya. Tafoya comes across the timeline, gets it to Ben McBride. Whoa. And McBride trying to pass it back to Enrique. And it was tipped by Taos. And then actually, apparently it was, they tipped it. And then it must have gone off the fingertips of Enrique, because they're going to give the ball back to Taos.
Yes, he did touch it last. That is the correct call. But timeout on the floor here. Toppers up by 3. 5:22 remaining here in the 4th quarter. You're listening to Los Alamos Daily Post YouTube channel, and we are so happy to bring you this game. Did not think a week ago we'd be here right now, Gene, but the Toppers a 3-point lead in the 4th quarter at Taos. The Toppers 5 minutes and 22 seconds away from a state championship berth. Wow. What a week for basketball this has been for the Topper boys. Great game, nearly doubled up Moriarty in the opener. Go to Pewaukee, where they against a team they have struggled against all season. Knock off the Elks. Then last night, going down to one of the unfriendliest confines in all of New Mexico high school basketball, Edward Medina Gymnasium, and upended the Espanola Valley Sun Devils. And now the Toppers up here in Taos with a 3-point lead. Wow, what a week of basketball. This is one for the history books, regardless of what happens here tonight.
Yeah, this has been fantastic, and it's been great to be the Daily Post, to be here all the way from the start in this district tournament. They bounce it inside to Ely, and Ely with an easy basket puts it in for 2. So right now, Ely has 20 points in the ball game, and it's a 1-point ball game. Comes to Josiah Frescas. So Frescas working right now against Giovanni Varela. They try to double team him. Now they get it to Nico. And back to Josiah. Josiah trying to come down the baseline. Damon Ely is on him. The little left-handed pass over to Kyle Evanhus. Evanhus ball high in the air. Damon Ely pulls it down. And we're going to have a personal foul go to Ethan Mundergone, I do believe.
Yeah, he knocked Ely off balance after the rebound. That actually probably was not a bad idea there by Ethan, because Ely has no problem storming straight to the basket, and he didn't have a whole lot in front of him either.
So we have 43-42. Hilltoppers up by 1. Damon Ely at the free throw line, and he's right now, he has 20 points in the ball game. As you see, that's what I have him for anyway. And so Right now, he's going to shoot a 1-and-1. He hasn't been that hot from the free throw line. But boy, I shouldn't have said anything because
boy, Gene, you were just killing it this week.
I know.
Wow, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I mean, it's automatic at that point.
Yes, it is. I mean, 43-43 right now. 4:40 to go here in this fourth quarter. Ely shot, second one, good. Hilltoppers bring it up. Nico Garcia gets to Josiah Frescas and waiting for him across the timeline. So they immediately double team Nico, who gets it to Josiah. Josiah going in has the ball stolen away by Ely. Ely's going to take it all the way. Here he goes. And so he goes up against Ben McBride, puts it up. Xavier Duke gets a rebound. Ben McBride blocks it. Two great plays by Ben McBride. And now we're going to have a ticky-tack reach-in foul go against the Hilltoppers. And that one looks like it's going to go to Nico Garcia.
Actually, I think that's going to go to Enrique.
No. Okay, right. It's going to go to Enrique Tafoya, his first. That is the 9th team foul. So Ely back to the free throw line. Leading by 1, 44-43. We have 4:13 remaining here in this fourth quarter. Damon Ely at the free throw line. And he's going to shoot a 1-and-1, and he misses it. Misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Hilltoppers down by 1. 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Josiah Frescas takes it. Going to take it all the way to the hole. Gets it to Ben McBride. McBride puts the shot up. Nico Garcia gets the rebound. He goes up and he's fouled. A good rebounding for Los Alamos and Nico Garcia. And that personal foul is going to go to Giovanni Varela. That'll be his second. And that is the 16th foul on the Tigers. But at the free throw line shooting 2 is Nico Garcia. And Nico drops in the first. Had to sit out the entire second quarter because he was in foul trouble. And since that time, he hasn't picked up any more fouls. And Nico back to the line and pops it up. The Hilltoppers take a 1-point lead. Right now, it's 45-44, 3:35. Well, we're going to have a timeout taken by the Tigers. Oh, no, it's going to be Benito Maestas is going to take a full timeout. So the Hilltoppers take a full timeout. And so they've been, they've had some players really step up here in this ball game. Ben McBride playing a fantastic defensive job on under the basket as he partially blocked Damon Ely's shot, and then Xavier Duke getting the rebound had an easy putback, and then Ben blocked that one. So the McBride, the junior, playing very, very well for Los Alamos. Nico Garcia coming back into the ball game. He had 8 points in the first quarter, sat out the entire second quarter, and then he picked up 6 points in the in the third quarter, and then another 2. So he's got 16 points right now for Los Alamos, and the Hilltoppers lead 45-44, and we have 3:56 remaining in regulation. And the Hilltoppers coming out of the timeout. You see the ball is after they made basket, the free throws by Nico. So Hilltoppers are going to drop back out of the full court press. They finally do. Everybody backs out, and so they set it up. Right now, Ben McBride working on Damon Ely. And the Hilltoppers in a man-to-man defense right now. And taking it to the hole and missing and flopping. Well, that was a major flop.
Yeah, that was on Ely. Goes to the floor. It was not minimal contact, if any, and that's going to go to Ben McBride. Ben McBride is out.
That is ridiculous. That's just downright ridiculous.
And so,
that was a major, major flop. He didn't even touch him. So we lose Ben McBride, and then we have Rick Valdez with 3, Nico Garcia with 3. We have 3:38 remaining here, and Hilltoppers leading by 1, 45-44. Damon Ely will go to the free throw line, and he'll shoot 2. Right now, Taos in the double bonus, makes the first.
And Ely with all the points for the Tigers in this quarter.
Yeah, and that's the same thing that happened in the game in Los Alamos. Exactly.
Yeah.
He had all the points in that quarter. Ely's second shot is good. And the Tigers take back a 1-point lead, 46-45. 3.5 minutes to go. They bring it across to Nico Garcia. Gets immediately double team. Gets it to Rick Valdez. So that swarming defense again right now by the Tigers as they double team Josiah Frescas. Hilltoppers now pushed back toward the half-court line. Josiah Frescas wants to go with the 3. Gets a screen from Rick Valdez. Can't do anything with it. Gets it inside to, and we're going to have a personal foul as they get the ball to it. Oh, they're going to call Enrique Tafoya. No, that was Rick Valdez. They're going to call him for traveling.
I think he slipped is what happened when he got the ball. So turnover for Los Alamos, and the Toppers had a chance there after they got the ball in, but Valdez could not keep his feet.
No, he couldn't. So Noah Washington starting again, trying to go down the baseline. He's cut off, and so they're going to bring it into Ely. Ely just backs in, puts the ball up over Rick Valdez, and Ely with 2 more points, as that's what he did exactly in Los Alamos. And it's a 3-point ball game, 48-45. So the Hilltoppers bring it across. And immediately, Nico Garcia is triple teamed. The ball is knocked away. It's stolen by the Tigers and down the floor. An easy basket for Noah Washington. Washington with his first 2 points of the ball game. And Hilltopper and the Tigers go up by 5, 50-45. So unfortunate, kind of an unfortunate event, a turn of events there as the Hilltoppers had that chance, and Rick Valdez caught the ball inside. He was open, slipped and fell. They called him for traveling, and then on the other end, Damon Ely gets away with a flop and ends up shooting 2 free throws. And then the Hilltoppers coming down working against that swarming defense, Mike, where they're just they come down, they set up kind of in a zone, and as soon as somebody gets the ball, they're double teaming and triple teaming the ball. And the Hilltoppers haven't been able to get out of those traps and get to open people. They have a couple of times, but that time the ball is, they tried to pass it out. The ball was picked off by the Tigers, and then they just got it up to Noah Washington, and he scored his first 2 points of the ball game.
Yeah, but so 5-point ball game right now. The Tigers up. Still plenty of time left. The Toppers do not have to panic. They can go down and get a good shot. You cut this back down to a 1-possession ball game. So no hurry here, but the Toppers do need a bucket.
Josiah Fresca gets it to Nico Garcia across the timeline. He gets it to Enrique Tafoya. Nice little 15-footer by Enrique Tafoya, and he's good at that. That's his boy. That 15-foot jumper by Enrique is almost automatic. It makes it a 3-point ball game. Under 2 minutes to go. Noah Washington with it. Tries to get it inside to Ely. Ely just takes a big step and goes to the basket and lays it in for another 2 and makes it a 5-point ball game once again. 1:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. It comes to Josiah Fresca. Enrique Tafoya, he's wide open on the baseline. His shot is off. Josiah Fresca from way downtown. Whoa! I mean, way downtown. And so that makes it now a 52-50 ball game. 1:20 to go here in the fourth quarter. Fresca was, he was practically in the Taos bleachers. Ball is going to come into Ely. Ely is going to try to work against Rick Valdez. And puts it up and in, and so let's see.
Yeah, we're going to get a foul on Los Alamos on the basket. So Ely with a chance for a 3-point play. Yes. And that's going to go to Rick Valdez. That is his 4th. 1:13 remaining. The Tigers up by 4. Ely at the free throw line with a chance for a 3-point play. That was way off.
He didn't even hit the rim.
Yeah, they're They didn't even count that as a. Yeah, they just waved that off. Wow.
Well, yeah, he didn't hit the rim.
Yeah, you have to touch some kind of iron there, and apparently Ely did not.
No, he didn't. Comes now to Enrique Tafoya. Tafoya starts to go with a little 15-footer, gets it to Nico. Nico coming right down the middle of the lane. Kyle Evanhus with the rebound and flips it back out to Nico. 50 seconds to go. Nico's going to come down, puts the shot up, rolls around and out. Rebound comes down to Tafoya. Enrique is fouled. Nothing is called. They get it to Josiah Frescas. He's cut off this time by Mateo Chavez. And that might be the seventh team foul. Let's see.
I believe it
is. Yes, it is. That's the seventh team foul. So that'll put Josiah Frescas on the free throw line, and he'll shoot 1 and 1.
Boy, what do you do here, Gene? Strategy-wise, 38 seconds left, down by 4. You want to hit both of these? Do you want to miss the second intentionally? What do you think?
Well, I'd say hit them both, and then figure out somebody to foul besides Damon Ely. So right now at the free throw line, Josiah Frescas misses the first one on a 1 and 1. Damon Ely with the rebound. And we're going to have a personal foul, and that one's going to go to Josiah Frescas, I do believe.
Nope. That's going to go to Rick, and Rick is done.
So now Rick Valdez fouls out of the ball game. But, boy, I mean, 2 points there from Josiah, that would have made a big difference because they would have been down by 2. They could have picked anybody to foul besides Ely at this point, and they would have had 2 shots, but I would have still given the Hilltoppers a chance to come down. But right now it's a 2-possession game, and Ely can make it a tough 2-possession game. 54 to 50 right now, 34 seconds to go. Ely puts it up and in. So he's shooting 2 actually.
That was the 10th team foul by Los Alamos. 55-50. 34 and a half seconds remaining.
Yeah, this Ely second shot good. This is an unfortunate turn of events there. The Hilltoppers were in the ballgame, 56 to 50. Josiah Frescas is going to come right down the middle, put it up. His shot is blocked by Ely. And so 25 seconds exactly remains here in this quarter.
I don't understand that take to the basket at all.
I don't either. When you're down by 6, I mean, they bring the ball into Frescas. Frescas shoots a 3-point shot. That's going to be off. Ely with the rebound. No, Washington. And they're going to call another foul?
No, I think they're going to call a timeout on Taos. Taos called a timeout, and Taos was awarded the timeout with no clear possession.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, no, they don't have the ball, and then they call a timeout. The ball bouncing around, everybody fighting for it, and then they jump up and call a timeout.
Well, actually, that may have worked out in the Toppers' favor because the Tigers would have had a 2-on-1 going the other way with the when the timeout was called, but no clear possession established. The Tigers, to be fair, were about to grab it, but the ball was still a little bit on the floor. And, not a fan there, but that actually may have cost the Tigers a bucket on the other end. 18.8 seconds remaining. Toppers down by 6 points, Gene. The Toppers needed a 3. I did not understand the take to the basket even a little bit.
No, not at all. So with 18.8 seconds to go and a 6-point lead, the Tigers will inbound it in the backcourt. So this ball game is essentially done. Well, the Hilltoppers, but by fighting all the way through the district tournament and then giving Taos everything they could handle, and the Hilltoppers had a couple of opportunities, just some bad things. Ball stolen away by Enrique Tafoya. Comes to Josiah Frescas. 3-point shot by Josiah. That's good. Timeout, Los Alamos.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's Josiah Frescas pops the 3. That makes it 56 to 53. 9.96 seconds remain.
Unbelievable. The Tigers, I mean, they kind of went into victory formation there and forgot to get the inbound pass.
Yeah, they really did. The Topper steal it away, gets it to Zaya. Zaya cans a three-pointer, makes it a three-point ball game, and now they reset the clock to 11 seconds.
Yeah, that was correct because Benito called the timeout immediately after the three-pointer. Might have been the Josiah's toughest three-point look this entire night. He was off balance. He was kind of falling parallel to the sideline. He had a man kind of a Tiger kind of nearby him. That was a tough shot, and he buries it with 11 seconds left. Topper's not quite done yet. We'll see what they want to do. The Toppers probably will have to hope for another quick steal. If they don't get it within about 2-3 seconds, they're going to have to foul.
Yeah, they need to pick out somebody to foul. Xavier Duke will inbound the ball, and Eli, he's telling Duke to baseball it all the way down the floor. So they bring it in, and immediately they foul Noah Washington.
Not a bad choice to foul there. Washington has not been to the free throw line tonight, but he will shoot 9.5 seconds remaining. Actually, I'm sorry, Gene, 9.54 seconds remaining.
9.54.
Don't forget that 400ths of a second. That could be crucial.
Yes, that's exactly right. So that inbound play took a minute and 4 seconds. A minute and 6 seconds. Noah Washington at the free throw line shooting 2. Puts up the first. Misses the first. So the Hilltoppers have the opportunity. If Noah Washington misses this one, a quick timeout by Benito Maestas, and then they can try to set up the three. Noah Washington at the line, 56-53. Missed the first, going for the second. Makes the second. Josiah Frescas coming down the floor for Los Alamos. He's going to put up the three. Knocks it off, and the rebound comes down to Damon Ely. And Ely all the way down the floor. The ball game is over. They score at the end of the quarter, but waved off, and the final score, 57-53. That's the first quarter that the Hilltoppers have lost in this ball game, as the Hilltoppers came up with 14 and the Tigers came up with 19. 57-53, the final score. But boy, the Hilltoppers they can stand proud, I tell you, because the 4 seed, and then this is their fourth game in 5 days, and they had to be on the road for every one of them, down to Espanola last night, up to Taos tonight, and the ball game just took a quick turn at one point as the Hilltoppers had a crucial turnover, and then the other thing is that Damon Ely just kind of took over the ball game in the fourth quarter. He only had 10 points in the first quarter, and the first half, 4 in the third quarter. And I don't know how many here. I haven't added them up, but it's a bunch. And so, but Ely just kind of did what he wanted. But the thing I don't understand is that when Ely would get the ball in the lane, he would just bruise his way to the basket. And like that one time, they got the ball and he just came swinging around with his arm up his elbow, and he just elbowed Nico right smack in the face. And Nico didn't do anything except just stand there. And then they called Nico for the foul. And that should have been like a flagrant foul. If that had been college, they'd have been looking at that on the TV monitor. It's ridiculous. So they just kind of let Damon Ely do whatever he wanted, and he was using his body to his advantage the whole night long, going up against the Hilltoppers, and a couple of times he had obvious travel going to the basket. But anyway, these referees, they didn't call anything. One thing I thought was interesting was that when Ely was at the free throw line there late in the game, Mike, when he was at the free throw line, he was standing there and he was talking to the referee, the two of them were having a little conversation. And then when they finished the conversation, Ely patted him on the butt, the referee. So, kind of like, whoa. I guess they know each other. So anyway, right now they're handing out the medallions, I guess, to each of the members of the Tigers team. So the Tigers, they won the regular season district. They were 7-1 in district. The only loss came here in Taos. The Hilltoppers beat them here, and then they beat Los Alamos in Los Alamos. But right now the Hilltoppers come back here to this district championship, lead the ball game after 3 quarters. Well, actually fell behind at the end of the third quarter, but led most of the ball game, and then end up. They actually did lead at the end of the third quarter. They were up by 3, 39-36, and they just couldn't hold on. And well, we had some ticky-tack calls and everything, but anyway, I'm trying to hit a Taos. Damon Ely, a good ball player. I mean, he wants to go to the hole. He goes to the hole, and he's got he's pretty much, well, he's a big, tall kid, but he's pretty powerful. So anyway, 4-point ball game, Mike, 57-53.
Yeah, it was, and so the Tigers celebrating right now, getting their medallions. I don't know if they're going to announce the all-district team tonight or what they're going to do. They've kind of gotten away from that in the last couple of years, I guess, because that hurt somebody's feelings probably at some point because they didn't get picked for district. So, but we'll check. We'll wait for a second and see what they decide to do. But Toppers, and boy, I tell you, there is nothing that tastes more like dog dirt in your mouth than having to watch the other team celebrate a tournament championship. Toppers stood there very solemnly, but they did stand there. Now they're retreating back to the locker room. Toppers have absolutely nothing to hang their heads about this week, though.
None.
That was a fantastic week of basketball for the Hilltoppers, battling back from having to go as long a way as possible to this game, but they made it, and they gave the Tigers just about everything they could handle. And unfortunately, Gene, some crazy fouls, some bizarre fouls tonight, but really the game came down to 2 or 3 plays on the court, a couple of really, really costly fourth quarter turnovers by the Toppers, and Damon Ely able to cash those in on the other end. Fantastic last second 3-pointer there by Josiah Fresquez cut the game to 3. They got the guy they wanted on the foul line. He came through just enough. Noah Washington did to put the contest away, but fantastic week of basketball for Los Alamos. We're going to see what happens. I think the Toppers have a case to get into the playoffs now. We'll see. We really don't know how it's going to shake out. There's a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas involved in that, but the fact of the matter is the Toppers have made a good case this week. The chips are going to fall where they may, but Toppers have nothing to be ashamed of. Had a fantastic week of basketball and very nearly came in here and upset the number 1 seed. So great week for Los Alamos. Nico Garcia playing in foul trouble all night long. He ended up with 16 points. Josiah Fresquez, what a district tournament he had. He ended up with 21. Tonight he had 8 points in the fourth quarter. The big 3 to potentially tie this ball game just unfortunately did not happen that way. And the 6 points for Rick Valdez, 4 points for Enrique Tafoya. I'm surprised Enrique doesn't shoot more often than he does.
Yeah, he really got a great shot.
Yeah, he really does. He's got a good stroke. He's got good touch. We'll see if that changes next year. He's just a sophomore. We've got one or two sophomores on the team, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that throughout the year, but there are a couple for the Tigers tonight. Paced, no question there by Damon Ely. He ended up with 28 points. Big night for Damon, but he was basically their entire offense the entire second half. That was most of what the Tigers came through, but Ely showing why he is why he is such a key cog for the Tigers. He had 28 tonight, 8 points for Xavier Duke. So Tigers win this one at 57-53. Again, I'm going to be curious to see on Sunday what actually goes down. Now, as we said, the Toppers, they ended up in the number 4 seed. They did tie for second place in the district standings, and boy, the sore thumb that just sticks out is that 3-pointer at the end of the Espanola game.
Yes,
that Los Alamos would have had second place outright if not for that shot. And we'll see if the Toppers are left out the candy store this year. It's going to be entirely about on that one shot.
Yeah, really.
Which is incredible. But in any event, Toppers, fantastic week this week. Great game against Moriarty. Go to Milwaukee, knock off the Elks. Then nice win last night at Espanola Valley and get to the championship game. So fantastic week of basketball. The Toppers, regardless of what happens, Gene, they have something to hang their hat on heading into next year. So we'll see what happens, but I think you can make a decent argument the Toppers get in right now.
Oh, absolutely. And we were talking a little bit before when we were out to dinner, if you want to call it that. We
were out for a snack.
Exactly. And anyway, but we were talking and looking. The Hilltoppers right now have 1 senior, 2 juniors, 8 sophomores, and 2 freshmen, and so the only player they're going to lose by graduation is Rick Valdez. So that means that this entire team will come back next year, and all those sophomores now are going to be juniors. So the Hilltoppers should put a pretty good crew on the floor next year, because these sophomores have been playing very well, and so it'll be interesting next year. We should, telling you, Hilltoppers' future looks really good. But anyway, Mike, right now the future is what's going to happen tomorrow, and we are not tomorrow, Sunday, and our future for us, we'll be on the air again tomorrow night, the 5th game in 6 days we've been doing, and been a lot of fun. It really has. And so love doing this. And we really want to thank the Daily Post for making all this possible. This coming and broadcasting these games, especially broadcasting this tournament, has been a real blast. It's been really fun, and been really fun to watch the Hilltoppers, and a good game tonight too. I mean, it was just it was all, and let's face it, I mean, it was all Damon Ely. The only other player that I have scoring in the second half was Noah Washington. I mean, in the fourth quarter. So anyway, okay, Mike. So any last thoughts here?
Fantastic ball game. Toppers just come up a hair short tonight, but Toppers have made a case. So the chips are going to fall where they may, but fantastic finish to this season for the Toppers, and just some great big individual efforts this entire week for the Toppers to get to this point. So like you said, the future for Los Alamos basketball looks pretty darn good right now.
Yeah, it really does. So we'll be back on the air tomorrow night with the Daily Post broadcast of Hilltopper basketball, and this time it will be girls. The girls have been just sitting, have been sitting around the gym all week long. Of course, they've been practicing, but getting ready. But they haven't played for a week, and so they will play tomorrow night for the district championship, and they'll go up against the Moriarty Pintos. That game will start at 6 o'clock, and that is a firm time, and we will be there to bring you that ball game. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I'm going to shout out here to some great people we have, and to Larry and to Debbie and to Russ and Tammy and Dean and Kent and Bobby and everybody listening, tuning in to the channel. We hear from those people all the time, and so it's great to give them a little shout out. So anyway, and then Mike, you got anybody you want to shout out to at the last minute?
Oh, sure. Just want to say hi to my wife, Patricia. I'd say hi to my mom. My mom's not listening. She's actually, I think she's at the Knights of Columbus fish fry right now. So
there you go.
She's over there, so she's having some fish. I'm sure she'll save me some. I have no doubt that she will. Just kidding. I won't get a bite of that. But anyway, just and you know, just so some friends. Linda Collier, good friend of mine, listening as well. So shout out to Linda. Thanks for supporting Hilltopper basketball and the Daily Post. And we are just we're pleased to be here.
Can you read that?
I cannot read that. Trying to.
It says Packer fans.
Oh, Packer. Oh, yes, absolutely. The Packer fans. They've been listening for about a month now. They really didn't have anything else to do with their evening, so they've been listening for a while. So we thank all the Packer fans, and just that again, just another march to the Super Bowl.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, well, that will do it for us, and so. Have a great tomorrow. You can make it even better Saturday. All you got to do is put a little love in your heart, and don't forget to hug that penguin. But the most important thing you can always do, of course, is always be excellent to each other. And Sweetie Pie, well, we gave it all we had, but we just didn't have enough. So, but I wish you were here to watch it with me. I miss you so much. So bye-bye, everybody.